Hello, everybody. I'm Mickey. I'm Not Your Mama's Minister, and today we're going to be talking on this fine June 1st. Oh my gosh, it's almost summer. Holy shit. So, today we're going to be talking about. No, we're not talking about Rocket. We're talking about Poppets. So, Poppets, voodoo dolls, whatever you want to call it, is a doll. So, that is all it is. It is a you can make one yourself. I have made a few. I have a few that I've made. You can buy them. You can order them online. You can draw one up on brown paper bag, like from the grocery store. So grocery bag. Yes, paper dolls do work. And I'm actually not going to stick a pin in this because God forbid, seriously, I do not want what's his face who plays Rocket to all of a sudden have a heart attack or a broken knee or something like that. So I'm just going to slightly demonstrate. So what is his name? I can't remember right now. Oh well. So you take your doll and you are going to either fill it with herbs if you're making it yourself, or even if you're not making it yourself. If you have a little doll that you just bought at a secondhand store and so you're just going to be cutting it apart anyway and just using it, you can go ahead and with the dolls, even the plastic dolls, so it doesn't even necessarily have to be a stuffed animal, you can just make a slice down the center of the back, stuff your herbs in there. So whether you're doing a blessing or a more of, as people like to call it, a white magic working for somebody, and that doll is representing somebody that you're doing a blessing, a healing, something like that, or whether you are doing something black magic. Same thing goes, always the same thing goes. So you can use oils if you want to use oils. You can use herbs in the doll. You can go ahead and reuse them if you want. I don't like to, just because I don't want to cross-contaminate, and I realize that with mystical work, it's less likely to cross-contaminate than when you're cooking or something like that. But we still don't want to take that risk, or at least I don't. If you want to go ahead and use the same voodoo doll or poppet for everything that you do, that's on you. So then, like I said, that's why I mentioned at the beginning the thrift stores, because thrift stores are a great place to get Barbies from, stuffed animals from, and then you don't need to reuse them. You can just go ahead and get rid of them. And yes, I realize that I'm basically talking about contributing to the garbage that's in the world, but that's why I'm saying get them from the thrift store, not from regular store. That's if you want to. If you want to get them new, brand new, or like I said, make them yourself, either way. I'm cheap. I also like reusing things and recycling things. So you have this. You're going to go ahead and use whatever words you want to use. Now, there are imprecatory psalms that are awesome for using if you're doing any type of banishing or protection, anything like that. And also reversals or revenge for curses, or just curses themselves. So the imprecatory psalms, if you're wanting to go with biblical. If you don't want to go with biblical, there are plenty of other words out there. You can go ahead and either borrow them from somebody online, in a book, whatever, or, as I always recommend, come up with them yourself. And so you're just going to focus on this doll being that person, the target of your mystical work. And now, here's the fun part. The target can also be you. So let's say you've come down with something horrible and you need some assistance getting rid of it. You can absolutely use a poppet to represent yourself. And so that's important for you to remember. So you take it, you're going to focus on it, you're going to concentrate on it. If you make the poppets yourself, feel free to go ahead and put an image of the person that is the target so that you've made the poppet to represent. When I was younger, I used to do that all the time. And then as I got older and I started doing more work for clients rather than for myself, I stopped doing it because, of course, I do have clients that know each other. And so I would hate for one of them to be doing one thing for another one and that other one be like, Mickey, why do you have a Poppet with my fucking face on it? Well, you know. So, so you need to, or go ahead and dress the doll the way that it is going to feel right for you, that it now represents whoever you want to represent. So let's say the dude who plays Rocket Raccoon ended up announcing on fucking Twitter or something like that he had been diagnosed with, I don't know, cancer or something like that. And you wanted to go ahead and represent him to do a healing for him. Totally awesome, using a representative that already exists. He played that character. We identify that actor with this character. And so, except for those of you who were attached to the character prior to the films. And so, so once you got it dressed, once you have all of the herbs, any oils, if you're going to be using gemstones, just remember, if you are disposing of the Poppet afterwards, there goes one of your gemstones. And some of the gemstones, especially getting them raw, can sometimes be pricey. So just remember that. You might want to pull the gemstone out when you're done with the Poppet. And then you have your pin here. And see, I have my little fancy schmancy tomato. So you have your pin here. So let's say we are going to work on a healing for him. So we know that he's got something going on in that region there. So we are going to go ahead and you can either dress the pin with some healing oil, or you can set the pin in some healing herbs and let it sit there overnight to grab up that energy. However you want to do it. But then you are going to focus on taking away that ailment. So I'm specifically doing a healing. Of course, you can also reverse all of this, but we're going with the healing. So you're going to specifically focus on the area that you know has an ailment that you need to kind of prick out. If your eye offends you, prick it out, pluck it out. So same type of thing. So we're focusing on plucking out that ailment for that target that our Poppet is representing. And then we're going to go ahead and leave that there. I like to do it for a full moon cycle, which of course then is you're talking about a month, if it's something big. If it's something like pretty simple that you're just boosting the energy that's already there, then you certainly don't need to leave it for a full moon cycle. I've also done them for novenas and gone ahead and repeated the words every day for 9 days and just left the pin there. And so you can do that any way that you want. Here are the big things. You need to remember that it is representative of somebody. So it is a representation that you have created with that person in mind. And so if you are doing something that is a blessing or a healing, something positive for that person, make sure that you're not creating their doll while you are in a crap-ass mood towards them. I don't care if you're in a crap-ass mood towards somebody else, dickhead cut you off in traffic or something like that. But you want to make sure that your focus towards that person is exactly what you're intending. So if you are Jane Doe and still fawning over douchebag John Doe, who is treating you like shit, and you desperately want to leave, but you cannot seem to give up that habit of douchebag John Doe's dick or something like that, don't try to do a banishing while you are still focused so positively on him, thinking, I wish he would just change. I wish he would just be better. If you are trying to get rid of him, make sure that the energy that you're putting into the Poppet is to get rid of him, rather than to, God, I just wish he would be a better person. He would be a better boyfriend, etc., etc. And so that is my lesson on Poppets. I think that is it. If you have any questions or comments or anything like that. Oh, and disposal of Poppets, I totally forgot about that. I know somebody's going to be like, hello, you didn't say what to do with them. Just like most mystical work, you're going to kind of gauge it. If you have your own backyard, fantastic. You can go ahead and bury it. You can go ahead and dispose of it any way that you want. Once the planned mystical work is done. So whether you've set it up to be a novena, to be a month-long process, to be a one-day process, to be a 10-minute process. Once you're done with that, you can go ahead and take that Poppet and dispose of it how you want to dispose of it. whatever makes you feel more comfortable. Remember that when you are disposing of any type of item, you need to check and make sure before you burn, because I've heard of people who cause themselves to get super duper sick by burning plastics and things like that. So if you're burning a fucking Barbie doll, you're gonna make, if you've ever burnt a fucking baby bottle nipple in the dishwasher, you know what I'm talking about. It's gonna be that same kind of stench, and you could make yourself sick. So make sure that you're disposing of it in a way that makes sense. You can bury it, set it off in the water. You are polluting though, unless you go ahead and go with a fabric that's going to go ahead and biodegrade, which I of course recommend. And then you can go ahead and throw it away. Throwing it away is awesome imagery for when you're done with a banishing or when you're done with a curse. So all of those things, and that's pretty much how you dispose of it. Like I said, safety first. And I think that's it. Any comments, questions, anything, and feel free to drop me a line. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment, and I will talk to you soon.